Hi everybody, I'm Dr. Duc Vuong, world-renowned weight loss surgeon and weight loss expert. Today we're going to do a green smoothie using this bad boy, Lucuma powder. I hope you can read backwards, Lucuma powder, and it's going to be amazing. Now why Lucuma powder? Lucuma powder is a natural sweetener made from the Lucuma fruit, all right? So you need it because it won't hurt your blood sugars, especially if you're diabetic or pre-diabetic, or if you're trying to be low carb, all right? So check this out. It says right here, low glycemic fruit powder, naturally sweet and creamy. It's a plant-based sweetener. Now on the back here, this is totally organic. I got this as at my natural, grocery store, neighborhood grocery store. You can find a lot of these now. This is organic. Check this out, this little fact on the back here. Lucuma ice cream is the most popular ice cream in South America. Now, how crazy is that? Americans sit here and think that they have like a sweet tooth, they love ice cream, you know, but they've never had Lucuma ice cream, and Lucuma is the #1 most popular ice cream in South America. So, what we're gonna do is read about Lucuma powder from my Advanced Green Smoothies book, which is now available on Amazon. I hope you'll check that out. So this Green Smoothies book has 50 recipes, and they have colored photos, so it's really beautiful. And at the beginning of the book, I talk about some of the superfoods. So let me read about Lucuma right here. Lucuma powder comes from the Lucuma fruit, native to Peru, Ecuador, and Chile. In addition to serving as a natural sweetener, it provides 14 essential trace elements. If you are diabetic, Lucuma will not raise your blood sugar levels. So this is super important for people who are diabetic, all right, trying to get better. So let's do our green smoothie. Now, this is not going to be a low carb green smoothie, all right, even though we're using Lucuma powder. Mostly because I don't have the ingredients. We just had a bad snowstorm here. So the first thing you're gonna need is to get your emulsifying blender. So I have a NutriBullet or NutriNinja. You don't wanna use a regular blender, and you don't wanna use a magic bullet. That'll make you salsa. So get a NutriBullet, a NutriNinja, or even a Vitamix. Or if you have a super powerful blender that has a smoothie function, that would be awesome too. So, first thing we're going to do is put in our fruit. Now, if you're diabetic and you're trying to avoid sugars, skip the banana, but I like a banana. You can use an avocado instead of a banana. For me, I taste a lot of egg when I have avocado. Comment if you also think that avocado tastes eggy. So when I use an avocado, I will use like a half an avocado. So if you're diabetic or pre-diabetic or trying to be low carb, skip the banana. Yes, I know banana has carbs in it. So skip the banana, use an avocado, and you'll be good. Okay, now the next thing I like to do is use some fruit. Now, what I'm going to use today is a blend of mandarin orange, pineapple, and blueberries. Now, if you're trying to be low carb, or if you're diabetic and you're worried about the sugar content, skip. There's some fruits you need to skip. You need to skip all of the super sweet fruits, like bananas, for example, but all your berries are good, all right? So your berries, like blueberries, cherries, all your pitted fruits. So cherries would be great. Nectarines are good for diabetics, peaches, plums, and then all your berries, blueberries, strawberries, raspberries, blackberries, those would be fine for diabetics or if you're trying to be low carb. So we're just gonna put some blueberries into this. And again, if you're trying to be low carb or if you're diabetic, skip the banana and use avocado instead, all right? So now what I'm gonna use, what makes it a green smoothie? Who knows the answer to this? What makes it a green smoothie? The fact that you use leafy greens. Now, if you're new to green smoothies, don't worry, you won't taste the leafy greens. What you're doing with the leafy greens is getting a ton of nutrition into your body, especially if you've had weight loss surgery. You need more nutrition. You have this little tiny gastric bypass pouch or a little tiny sleeve pouch, and so you can't get that much food in. So when you eat, now some of your programs are still teaching you like use 4 ounces of food or whatever. That's just hard to measure, right? For me, I teach my patients instead pack what you're eating full of nutrition. And there's no healthier breakfast, no more nutritious breakfast than a green smoothie. And what makes it green? Leafy greens. Now, normally I use spinach because a container of spinach will last me a whole week. But today I have super greens. And this is kind of cool because, well, one, it was on sale. It was 99 cents. So people who think eating healthy is too expensive, they just don't know what the fuck they're talking about, right? It's more expensive being sick and obese. Trust me on this. Now, why is it? I like super greens. Why? Because it's got baby chard, baby kale, and baby spinach, right? And this is organic, 99 cents. So, now some people are wondering, well, how much do you put in? The answer is, it doesn't matter. You really do it to taste. So come down with me. Woo! This bag is almost full. It's almost old. So the nice thing about green smoothies too is you can see, like, this is getting a little bit old. You wouldn't want to serve this in a salad, but you can use it in a green smoothie. It's no big deal. It's all going to get blended in anyway. See that one? The red veins there? That's the chard, Swiss chard. This is the spinach. Okay, some kale in there. So I'm just gonna pick out what's good, what's left. And there's no measuring, which is what makes green smoothies awesome. And trust me, you will not taste the leafy greens. So I usually make this with my daughter, okay, for breakfast. And this is what she likes to have for breakfast now. So now you can see banana, berries, and greens here on top. At this point, if you are a bariatric patient or if you're working it out or whatever and you want more protein in it, you can add things like protein powder if you want. If you're gonna do that, I recommend like a vegan protein powder or a pea protein powder, P-E-A, not P-E-E. Don't get confused by that, all right? And trust me, you won't taste this. So now to our superstar, Lucuma powder. Again, natural sweetener, comes from the Lucuma fruit. Here's a picture of the Lucuma fruit right here. And as you can see, it's like a pitted fruit. And again, it's a natural sweetener. And I want to show you this because very important when you're reading labels, which I don't recommend reading labels, but when you do, see this ingredients list right here? I don't know. It says ingredients right there. What does it say? Certified organic Lucuma. That's it. That's the only ingredient in this bag is pure 100% organic Lucuma powder. So what I'm gonna do is just take a scoop of this. Now, can you look in here? Look at that. Ooh, yeah, baby, look at that. It's like a brown tannish powder. And I'm just gonna take a little scooper here. And I'm just gonna put a little scoop in there. So what I encourage you to do, if you're trying to get healthy, is to get away from artificial sweeteners like saccharin or the pink stuff or the blue stuff or the yellow stuff. And no, stevia is not good for you. Stevia does not come from a plant. It's a chemical. The original compound comes from the stevia plant, but then they ground it up and made it into a compound. So it's not like, people are confused. They sit here and they think like, oh my God, stevia comes from a plant, so it must be healthy for you. Like, no, they're not grinding up stevia plants and making stevia for you. You understand what I'm saying? It's a chemical compound that they've extracted that they discovered in the stevia plant, and now they mass produce it, and it's like 400 times sweeter than sugar. So you're not going to ever think that an apple is sweet as long as you keep using pink stuff or blue stuff or yellow stuff in your drinks and your tea and your stuff. So Lucuma powder is a much better alternative, right? And it won't jack with your blood sugars if you're diabetic. Okay, now we have the Lucuma powder in our green smoothie. We need a liquid base. I like soy milk. Now, soy milk has some controversy because people from the dairy industry don't want you drinking soy milk. So they made up all sorts of rumors about soy causing cancer and all sorts of stuff like that. Let me tell you, none of it's true. You know, you got 4 billion Asians who eat soy multiple times a day and are much healthier than Americans. So what does that tell you? Soy milk also has about 7 to 8 grams of protein. So if you're trying to get a little bit more protein, soy is a good option. Now, if you don't believe me about soy milk, then you can use something like coconut water. But coconut water is already going to be sweet, and we're using Lucuma powder, so it might not be a good option. I'm going to tell you, you need to skip dairy. Dairy is no good for you, man. Dairy is pus water, right? Just look up dairy and all of how dairy is made with all the antibiotics and hormones and the amount of pus they're allowed to have. Not a good option. So for all the people who hate on soy milk, tell me a better option, right? It's not milk, it's not dairy. So if you're still using if you're still using dairy like yogurt or milk in your smoothies, you need to cut that shit out because it will poison you. And most people, you don't understand this, but most people are actually allergic to dairy and you just don't know it. You're allergic to dairy and yogurt, and that's why you're bloated and flatulent and constipated. Cut out the dairy. I promise you, your body will love you for it. All right, so now you have this, you put the lid on, and we're gonna put this to our Nutri-Ninja or NutriBullet. Now I used to put in the greens first and the fruit at the bottom, and then a viewer said, hey, do the fruit first, and what happens is now the fruit is pushing down onto the greens and it blends nicer, right? So check this out, here we go, 1, 2, 3. Whoa, yeah, baby. And sometimes you want to pulse it a little bit, so get a nice blend. I do this with my 2.5-year-old, and she loves this. Yeah, baby. Rocking and rolling now, rocking and rolling. Yeah. So again, green smoothie does not mean it's green. See that? It's a nice purple. Now question. Why is it purple? That's right, the blueberries. Okay, so we also want to shake it up a little bit, just so you make sure everything's in there. So all that green, salad green, is totally gone, totally emulsified. The other thing about green smoothies that's super powerful for you, especially the weight loss surgery community, if you just had weight loss surgery, for example, you can adjust the thickness or the thinness of the smoothie. So my patients, when they're starting on what we call the mushy phase, mushy foods, the first thing I tell them to do is make a green smoothie and make it real thin. Now you can see this is really thin. Hold on just a second. Let me grab a straw. Okay. So I don't know if you can see in there, but this is really runny, so watch. See that? It's dripping off the straw, so it's pretty runny. I can stir it easily, right? So if you just had weight loss surgery, I would just make a green smoothie really, really runny. Now, if you're further out and you need to have that more sensation of fullness and you want a thicker green smoothie, like a milkshake or you miss a milkshake, then just add less water, less soy milk in this case. So let's see how this tastes. Nice. So we use Lucuma powder, which is a natural sweetener. And I'll tell you, I made a lot of green smoothies. I never add an artificial sweetener. But this Lucuma powder added a hint more sweetness. It's not super sweet, so it's not like, it's definitely not like what you get with like the pink stuff or the blue stuff. It's much milder, and it has a nutty taste to it. Nutty, kind of like Dr. V, right? Anyway, totally good. It has kind of like a caramel. Interesting. So caramel flavor to it is how I would describe it. So if you've never tried Lucuma powder, I hope you will check it out. A natural sweetener from a fruit, 100% fruit, that is found in Peru and Chile. And it's great for diabetics, will not lower your blood sugars. Try it in your green smoothie, and I know you'll love it. All right? Thank you guys very much. I'll see you next time. I gotta get out.